Hey, hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
Good
sir.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon. Okay, then so let's continue the session. Okay, and we will begin the session with having some revision session or recap of the previous session. Okay, cool then. So can someone explain what exactly the Scrum meeting means? Anyone want to try?
It's a daily basis meeting, sir.
Okay. What else?
Sir,
To
it's
track
a
each
daily
and every
start of
employee status.
This is a daily
it's a,
basis meeting.
it's a
Okay.
daily basis
What I have
meeting.
done yesterday and what I will do today. Yes.
Okay. What else?
It's a daily
To
basis
track
meeting
each and
for
every employee status.
track
Okay.
each and every employee status.
Okay. Snehal, continue. Like explain it again. Scrum meeting.
It's a daily basis meeting where Scrum Master will conduct that meeting, and here they check every employee's work status.
Okay.
Whatever they did, what they the problem they are facing, that all the things they will discuss in that meeting.
Okay. Good. Okay. So remember that guys, okay, in real time, right? Okay, we guys are exactly conducting this Scrum meeting at daily basis. Okay. And why we need to conduct? Because here we want to track each and every employee's status, like what exactly we are doing, what is the progress of the status, okay, and how it's going in terms of the work perspective. Okay, so everything we can track it along with the employee's status. Okay, so that is what Scrum meeting. Okay, Scrum meeting. Sorry. Now coming to the MOM is nothing but it's like sending an email, like outcome of the particular meeting. Like after conducting a meeting, what we can do, we can highlight the few key points. Why we have to send this MOM email? Let's assume that some of the employees is not available into the office or they missed to join this Scrum meeting. So with having this MOM, they will get to know like what exactly we have discussed in that particular meeting. Yes or no? Are you guys getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So it will help us to other employees also who's ever have missed to attend the session, okay, or join the meeting. So they can also understand like what was discussed in the previous meeting. Okay, so that's how we can send a MOM at daily basis also after having the meeting. Okay, SOS meeting is the kind of Scrum of Scrum. So when we are having more team size, more team member in a project, then we can split the Scrum meeting in two Scrum meeting, Scrum 1 and Scrum 2. Okay. So for that, we need to have the SOS. So usually this SOS meeting, you will be getting in some MNCs only, not in a mid-level firm, okay, or not in the startup. Okay. Only in a big MNC where the team size is really big. But nowadays, we don't have this SOS, I can say frankly, because we will have the limited team members in a project. Okay, so this SOS is not required. But if in case we are having more team size, then we can think about this SOS. Clear? POD meeting, point of delivery
Yes, sir.
meeting. So it's nothing but what, whenever we will develop some of the functionality within a sprint, in that time, what we can do, like we can showcase a demo to the client. Okay, whether the developed product is matching with their expectation or not, or client is happy with this implemented application or the functionality or not. So for that reason, we can have this POD meeting where client can provide their suggestion, okay, whether they are okay with that implemented feature or whether they want to change a feature. Okay, if they want to change any of the functionality, then what we can call that? Can someone tell? If you want
Change request.
Change request. Change request.
change request, right? It will be called as a CR, change request from the client side. Why? Because we are modifying the existing functionality. So that is a POD. Now coming into the sprint review meeting. So at the last date of our sprint, let's say that we are completing a sprint today. Today is a Friday. Okay. So definitely the sprint is getting over by today itself. Okay. So EOD, okay, like end of the day, what we can do, we can conduct this sprint review meeting. Like we are going to review it, whether we have developed all this functionality or not. Okay, we will track it, whether all the 15 user stories has been completed or not. So for that, we can have this sprint review meeting. Okay. Now, after completion of every sprint, we can focus on the what? Retrospective meeting. Correct, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And agenda of the retrospective meeting is what went good, what went wrong in this previous sprint. Okay. So whatever sprint we will complete, right? So in that sprint, whatever mistakes we have done, okay, what all good activities, good works we have done. So those things easily we can track as a part of retrospective meeting. Okay. Now in the retrospective meeting, if we are getting some of the mistakes, okay, or some of the what challenges we have faced, those we want to improve it. So for that, we can have what next meeting, that is a RCA, root cause analysis meeting. Clear, everyone?
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
I
Yes,
hope
sir.
Yes, sir.
till this point, till this 13 point, everyone is clear. Okay. Cool then. So I forgot to mention one more thing. Okay, you know that. Okay, let me draw it again. Okay, let's say that we are in the sprint one. Guys, just go on mute, please. Okay, let's say that we are in the sprint one, and here we wanted to complete 15 user story. Okay, now in the last date of the sprint, okay, end date of the sprint, we will get to know that like out of 15, 10 are completed. Okay, and 3 are in progress. Okay, or 2 is not yet started. Okay, guys. So we know that okay, 10 is completed and 5, this 5 is still not yet complete, means not completed. Okay, not yet or not completed, we can say that this 5 is still pending, means we have not completed this 3 8 plus 2 5 functionality. Okay, so we know that okay, out of the like after this sprint one, okay, we are knowing that this 5 story is yet to complete or yet to complete properly. Okay, so this 5 user stories, actually we can call it as what is sprint backlog. Getting my point, everyone? You know
Sir.
about the backlog. Backlog is which is not at all started, okay, which is keeping into the backlog. So that is a backlog. Okay, but this 5 user story, okay, which is not completed from this particular sprint, so that we also we can call it as what sprint backlog. Okay, from this sprint we got some pending tasks. Okay, so we can call this what sprint backlog. Whereas, okay, let's say that out of we are having 100 total user story. Okay, 100 user story we want to develop for one e-commerce application. Out of 100 we have picked 15 user stories. So how many are pending now?
85.
85.
Okay, so this 85 user story, actually we can call it a backlog or product backlog. Okay, so this 85 user stories are product backlog, whereas in this sprint one, this 5 user story we have not yet completed. So
Sir,
that
your
we can call
voice
it,
is not audible.
is it for all?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
It's audible.
Audible. So just check. I don't know. I don't remember your name. So just check from your end once. Check your connection or close all the application. Okay.
No audible, sir.
Oh, it's audible. Okay, good. Okay. So what I'm saying, like, okay, we want to develop all this 100 user story to develop one e-commerce application. Okay. So in the first sprint, we have picked the 85, 15 user story. So 85 is pending now. So this 85 user story, actually, we can call it as a product backlog. Okay, to develop this product, whatever is backlog we are having, so that is a product backlog. But in this sprint one, whatever stories are getting incompleted, so those user stories we can call it as a sprint backlog. Are you guys understanding my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
The difference between product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay, the total user story which is not at all started, we have not at all started this 85 user story implementation, so that we can call it as a product backlog. But if some of the user story is getting pending from a sprint work, okay, then we can call it a sprint backlog. Clear to all? In interview they may ask you what is the difference between the product backlog and sprint backlog, so you need to explain it. Overall is a user story which is not at all started, okay, to develop the product, so those user stories we can call it as a product backlog. Okay, but in the during the sprint, okay, if some of the user stories are getting incompleted or we are not able to complete, so those user stories we can call it as a sprint backlog. Clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
This is one of
Yes, sir.
the
Yes, sir.
interview question. Okay,
Yes, sir.
as a fresher, I don't think so you are going to face, but being as experienced, definitely these questions will come. Difference between the product backlog and sprint backlog. Okay, cool then. So not this screen. Okay. So till this 13 point, everyone is clear? Yes, no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let's continue the session, okay, with the remaining point, okay, because we have to finish it. Okay, so what I can do? Okay, let me rough this and note it down again. So give me a minute, okay, let me note it down all the remaining points so we can discuss one by one. So we want to start from the 13th point. 13th point is what?
It was
The
RCS,
D,
sir.
Yeah,
RCS.
just a minute, just a minute.
the 13th DA, sir.
Give me a minute, give me a minute. Let me just go through, okay, let me check it and type it. So, okay, okay, 13 is here, we have already completed, okay, 14 points, sorry. Don't worry, these are like a very easy topic because the main content for the agile methodology we have already discussed. Remaining point is like really easy, so nothing to worry. And guys, if you guys are joining the session, my right, attend it daily basis. Why? Because it is just for the some limited period. Limited period means what? It will be just for the 30-40 days. Okay. I think probably I will take another 20 more days, okay, to complete this. But each and every session is really important. Okay. So if you want to become a QA engineer, test engineers, okay, with having good skill set, attend all the live session. Because watching the recording is really hectic, right? Yes or no? Ever you guys have felt this? Watching the
No, sir.
recording,
No, sir. Live session
correct?
is
Concentration will be not there. Okay. Like that recording will be for 1 hour, okay, but you will end up with was 3-4 hours to just watch this one recording. Okay. But in live session, in 1 hour, you can learn so many things. Are you guys agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So attend the live session. Cool. Okay, then so the next point is what? DSR. So DSR stands for what? Daily status report. Okay, everyone. Stand for what? Daily status report. It means what? A daily basis. Okay, let's say that okay, you are logging for the work. Okay, let's say that you are doing a work at daily basis. Okay, so at every day, what you have to do, like after completing your work. Okay, or we can say that before logging out from the office. Okay, or before leaving the office, what you can do? You can send a one DSR report to your leads or manager, your respective leads or manager. Let's say that you are part of QA team. Okay. Let's say that you are a test engineer and you are part of QA team. Okay. So you can send this DSR report to only to your respective leads. Okay. QA lead or QA manager. Okay. Getting my point? No need to send to the what the development manager or someone else. Okay. So daily basis, you will be sending your report like what exact task you have completed in entire day. Okay. Let's say that today we are doing something. So before leaving the office, okay, I can consolidate my entire day report. Like today I have done this task, and tomorrow I'm going to continue this task. So that status actually we can send to our respective leads or manager. Okay, it's like DSR report, daily status report. Why we have to send? Because that's how we can track our employees status also. Let's say that I'm a QA lead, okay, and I have assigned some of the tasks to you. So if you will send a DSR report, then I will get to know like okay whether you have completed or not, okay, or whether you are still continuing. Getting my point, guys? If you have completed your task, then I will be assigning a new task on the very next day. Getting my point? So in entire day, whatever task you will complete, right? So for that, you need to send one DSR report, daily status report. Getting my point, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes,
The
sir.
daily basis. So let me show you guys the template. Let's say that, let me open my email. Okay, so let's say that, okay, I'm going to drop an email. Okay, so let's say that here I can know what mention my team members, okay, or whoever is my leads or senior, whoever it is, okay. So and in subject line I can mention what, let's say that DSR, okay, DSR, it means what, DSR report. I can type like this, okay, and I say I can also mention the what, date, okay. What is the today's date? Can someone tell? 21st 10 then 2022, okay. So now here I can highlight this, hi XYZ, okay, the leads and all, okay, whatever it is, okay. You can mention like today, okay, I have completed, okay, this many tasks, means you can note it down the task, okay, and remaining tasks, okay, whatever it is, okay, then you can note it down. I will complete it by tomorrow, something like that, okay. So likewise, a daily basis, you need to send an email, but remember that the format for the sending a DSR report, okay, where subject line should be like this. Getting my point? DSR, then highlight this. Clear, everyone? All of you are
Okay,
getting
sir.
it? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So likewise, you can send an email as a part of DSR report. Any doubt here? Anyone having queries regarding the DSR? Daily
No,
status
sir.
report?
No,
No, sir.
Yes, sir.
Clear?
So we send a mail after ending of the day or starting?
End of the day, before leaving your office.
Okay.
If you will send while joining your office or starting your office, then what you will send? There will be nothing, right? There will be no status. But when you will send end of the day, you will be having some of the report. Getting my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So likewise, you guys can send a DSR report. Okay. And don't worry, if you are sending a DSR report, then you can create a good reputation between your team members, okay, with your leads also. Why? Because they will get to know, okay, this employee is daily basis doing some tasks, okay, and also sharing the status. So they will get to know about your daily basis effort. Okay. So try to send a DSR report a daily basis. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any confusion here? Cool.
sir.
So the next is like WS. It's all about what? Weekly
Weekly.
status. Okay. So this weekly status report is not an individual report. Okay. It's not like every individual employee they need to send. This report actually going to prepare by what? QA leads. Okay. Here as a QA lead, what we can do, like this QA lead, what he can do? He can what, consolidate the entire week status, entire QA team status. Okay. And he can mention in one single report, like from Monday to Friday, we have completed this many tasks. Getting my point? As a team, as a QA team, okay, we have completed this many tasks as a QA. Okay. So that report is nothing but weekly status report. Every Friday, okay, leads are going to share with the management. Okay. They will not share with the test engineer and all, but they can share with the management, like a project manager or with the client. Okay. They can share the entire weekly status report. Clear, everyone? So that is what WSR.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt here? Cool. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Moving on. Now next is what epic. So as of now, just remember that I'm just giving the definition of this epic. Epic is nothing but what? It's nothing but what? It's like collection of user stories. Okay. It's nothing but what? Collection of user stories. It means what? Let's say that we are having very complex feature. Okay. Assume that, okay, I'm saying that, okay, I'm having one requirement. Okay. Let's say that my requirement is saying, my user story is saying that, okay, my requirement is like this. Let me write it down. Like my requirement is saying that, okay, develop a what, functionality to book an order from the application. So are you guys understanding this? So what exactly I'm saying? This is my requirement. My requirement is saying that Okay, we want to have such kind of feature, such kind of functionality where we can book a order from the application. Okay, let's assume that this is an e-commerce application. So there we want to book a order. Okay, we want to book a products from the application. So do you think that this is very complex feature or this is just a single feature? Can someone tell me? Is it a complex feature? It's like a big feature or is it just single feature? Or only one feature is
Big feature.
required to
Complex.
develop this? To develop this particular feature, only one feature is required or we have to develop the multiple features? So based on that, we can book a order.
Multiple features.
Multiple features, sir.
Multiple features required means we have to what search a product, we have to add the product, we have to what enter the customer information, we have to do the payment gateways, then we will get a about order confirmation. Yes or no? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay. So if I assign this task to a single developer, do you think that he will be able to complete it? If I assign this complete requirement to one developer,
No.
No.
no, right? Or same time, can I assign this same feature to the multiple developer? Is it possible? Same time, same feature to the a different developer?
No.
It will be duplicate effort. Yes or no? Duplicate effort, right? Both will be implementing the same thing. Okay. So if we are having such kind of functionality, such kind of critical functionality, so in that case, what we can do, like instead of creating this user story, what we can do, we can create a epic. Okay. So this main feature, actually, I can call it as a what epic. Okay, don't worry, I will explain it again. So this main feature, actually, I can call it as a epic. Okay, like this is like a major feature. This is a critical functionality. Okay, so that is my epic. Now, under this epic, what I can do, look, I can create a multiple user stories. Getting my point, guys? What I will do, I will be creating what multiple user stories. Multiple means what? I can say that I will be having one search feature, then add to cart. Okay, that is another user story. Then what? Customer information page. Okay, then what? Payment gateway. Then what? Order confirmation. Getting my point, everyone? So here you can say that to develop this particular functionality, this what complete product, we need to implement this five functionalities. These five features, once we will implement, then easily we can book a order. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So now these all nothing but these all are different user story. Like search is one of the user story, add to cart is one of the requirement or user story. Similar here other. Okay. So now easily we can assign this all the respective user story to the different developers. Now it's easy, right, to develop it with assigning to the multiple developer. Let's say the developer one, developer two, developer three. So like we can assign to the different developers. Are you guys understanding or not? Getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
what exactly we are doing it here? We are breaking down the main functionality into the sub functionality. Okay. Or we are breaking down the main module with the multiple sub module. So this main module, actually we can call it as a epic, but this all the sub module, it's nothing but it's a user stories. Okay. So what is the epic? Epic is like collection of the user stories. So we are having this user, so this. Okay. So this collection of user story, actually we can call it as a epic. Clear, everyone? Are you guys getting or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So remember that in interview, this is I don't think so. Someone is going to ask this question, but if someone is asking, then you can answer like this. If we are having any of the complex functionality, okay. So to implement it, what we can do, we can create one epic, and under that epic, okay, we can add a multiple user stories. Okay, why? Because we have to complete all this user story. Okay, and to complete this, multiple developers are required. So easily we can assign it to all the different developers. Okay, and easily we can develop this complete functionality. Clear, everyone? So that is what epic. Okay, I will show you guys. I'm just clicking on this create button. Okay, can you guys see something? Issue type is showing user story. Now, can you guys see somewhere epic?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Okay, so we can select this epic. Okay, and first we can create the epic. Let's say that I will say that epic name. Let's say that what order confirmation. Okay, order management. Okay, not because okay, I'm just saying the order management, something like I'm giving this name. Okay, I can give the summary like, okay, develop a what? Develop a what? Application. Okay, develop a what? Booking order feature. Something I'm just mentioning it. Booking order feature. Okay, so this is the title of the epic. Okay, now to develop this particular functionality, we need to create a multiple user stories also. Yes or no? So first, what we have to do, we have to create one epic. So this is my epic. Let me create it. I'm just creating one epic. Okay. So what is the ID of this epic? What is the ID number? This is ID number. Can you guys see? This is the epic and this is my ID number. So ESPN 77 is the one of the epic. Okay, guys. Now, after creating this epic, what we can do? We can create a what user stories like for the search functionality and all. So let me create user story now. So don't worry, these all things we will do practically. So wait for some time. So now I will do what? I will create a user story and I will say that, okay, implement a implement search feature. I'm just mentioning this. Okay, search feature. So this is like title for implementing a search feature. Okay, now if I scroll it down, it will ask you somewhere the epic name. Let me see it here somewhere. Oh, sorry, just a minute. Okay, so can you guys see that this user stories relates to with any of the epic or not? So this is my user story. Now here we are having one feature like link the issue, means this issue, this user story, we want to link with the epic. So what is the epic ID? Can someone tell me?
77.
ESPN 77.
777.
So let me search the issue. Means we are going to link the epic with this user story. So I can search it here. ESPN 77. This is the word epic, right? Can you guys see this icon? And this is epic. So let me select it and let me create. Okay, so what I've done, I have created what? One user story under this epic. Let me refresh this page. Can you guys see that? This is my epic, okay? And to develop this feature, complete feature, okay, we are having user story. So one of the user story was search features. So that is linked under this particular epic. Can you guys see that? Everyone? This
Yes, sir.
user story is linked with this epic. It means what? Under this epic, we will have all the related user stories, search, add to cart and all. Okay. So why we are doing it? Because it will be helping us to track. Let's say that you will just open this ESPN 77. So here you can easily track what is the status of this ESPN 78 and 19 and all. Okay. Like whatever features we are having, everything easily we can track it. So what we are doing, we are just breaking it down the main module with the multiple sub module. Here, any confusion here? All of you are understanding this, guys? Epic?
So Epic can also have a sprint.
Yes. Yes. So this epic only, let's say that this epic is part of what? Sprint. Okay, let's say that we will have the next sprint, sprint 2. Okay. So in this sprint 2, we can add all those user stories. This all the user story we will add it. So by default, this will be part of this epic only. Means what? In this sprint 2, we are developing this epic functionality only.
Okay.
Getting it? So we are not going, see, we can't add this epic into the sprint, but we can add a user stories. But these user stories are part of this epic. Clear? Yep. Let's assume that, okay, let's say that in the sprint 2, sprint 1, okay, we are developing only 3 functionality. Okay. Anyway, this will be part of the epic where we are developing this 3 user story in the sprint 1. After that, we will start with the sprint 2 where we will develop this 2 remaining functionality. So easily we can check the status of all this user story under this epic. Once this all the 5 functionality were implemented, then easily we can say that epic is completed. Getting it, guys?
Okay.
Once we will develop all these 5 features, then only we will say that we have completed with this epic implementation. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Any confusion, anyone?
No, sir.
Cool. So that is a what? Our epic. Anyone is having any queries? No? Okay. So let me rub this now. Okay. So what is the next point? Next point is what story content, or we can call it what acceptance criteria. In real time, actually, we are calling it what acceptance criteria. Okay, it's a nothing but it's a story content. Okay, ideally, we are not using this word. We are using this word that is a acceptance criteria. Acceptance criteria. So acceptance criteria is nothing but what to develop the each functionality, what all information is required. Okay, let's say that we want to develop one of the login feature. Okay, I'm just giving like this. Okay, or let's say that we want to develop search functionality. Let's say that my user story is saying that, okay, develop a what? Develop a search feature. So do you think that with having just one title of this feature, developer will understand like what to name, what to implement for the search features? If I give just a one-liner statement, this statement, can developer understand what exactly he need to implement or he need to develop?
No, sir.
No.
Is it possible? He may understand also, but clearly he will not understand like what exactly need to be developed to develop this particular search feature. Okay. So in that case, whatever BA or client they will do, like they will be writing a what acceptance criteria for this particular user story. We want to develop a search feature, but to develop a search feature, what is the exact criteria we are having it? Okay. So here we will note it down the acceptance criteria. Okay, it's like a detailed information about the requirement. We will give the brief information about this requirement, like how exactly we want to develop it. So here in the acceptance criteria to develop the search features, we can write it like, okay, search features should display on home page. Okay, getting my point? So that is my first acceptance criteria to develop this particular search feature. Okay, it's like instruction. Okay, it's like instruction to develop the search feature. Similar ways we are calling is what acceptance criteria to develop the search feature. Okay, then next I can say that, okay, okay, users can search, okay, with entering the correct product names, okay, or by ID, okay, or by number, something, whatever it is. Okay, depends on the application. Okay, that is there. Okay, then you can say that, okay, search result should display the exact information. Exact information means what? If I'll try to search the mobile, it should display only the mobile information in the search result. Correct, guys? If you are getting some cloth related information into the mobile, do you think that that is the correct implementation? No, right? So based on your search, you should get a proper result. So that is another criteria. So likewise, our BA, okay, or client, they will be defining the proper acceptance criteria. Getting my point, guys? All
Yes,
of you are
sir.
understanding this or not? Okay, so this is what our acceptance criteria to develop a search feature. Now let's say that I'm a developer. Okay, so what I can do, I can go through this title. Okay, I want to develop a search feature where I need to what display this search feature into the home page. Means I will implement this search features. Okay, and I will display onto the home page. Along with that, I will be writing a logic. Logic is like, okay, users can search with these names, product names, or ID or number. Okay, so for this, I will be writing some of the logic into the program. Similar here to display the search result, we want to display only the correct information. So for that, we will be writing some of the logic, correct? So as a developer, now I can easily understand to develop this particular search feature. Yes or no? Getting my point, everyone? Similar way, let's say that you are a test engineer, okay? So you can also follow this acceptance criteria and accordingly you can test the application. Let's say that this feature is already being developed. Now you want to test it. So how you will test? You are going to test and you are going to match with this acceptance criteria. Means according to this acceptance criteria, whether the search feature is implemented or not. Means what, you will check it whether the search feature is available into the home page or not, whether you are able to search the search with the product names or ID or number or not, whether you are getting a correct result or not. So this acceptance criteria will be helping to the both development team as well as the testing team. Getting the point, guys? So
Who will write the acceptance criteria? Is a BA?
BA, business analyst. Okay, so let's say that I'm creating one user story here. Okay, so this is my user story, and again I'm just tapping the search feature. Okay, I'm searching like search functionality. Okay, we want to develop the search functionality. So this is like title of the requirement. Now here we are having description. So here as a BA or client, we can note it down the acceptance criteria. Okay, guys, I will mention all those points whichever is required to develop this particular feature. I say that what search feature should display on home page. Second, what? Okay, should be able to search with product name, okay, or ID or whatever it is there. Okay, I'm just simply mentioning it. Then third, okay, should display the accurate search result. Getting my point, guys? So likewise, BA or client, they will be writing what acceptance criteria. Here, everyone. All of that getting it?
This is
Yes,
a
sir.
part of user story.
Yes, it will be part of your user story. Correct. Okay.
So we can write in user story also. Why this is
This is a user story.
required again?
This is a user story where whenever BA will create a requirement or user story, right? So during that time, they will update or they will create a user story with providing this acceptance criteria. Okay, if they are not putting this kind of information into the user story, then you can directly connect with the BA. Okay, you can inform to that BA like there is a no acceptance criteria for this particular user story. So I'm not understanding what I have to test or what I have to develop for this particular feature. So they will be helping you to provide this acceptance criteria. Okay.
So first we will write user story.
Yes, first we will get a user story only. So without requirement, can we develop some requirement or can we develop the application without having requirement? Is it possible?
No.
If there is a no requirement, can you develop an application? No, right? Okay. So first we should get this requirement. If requirement is there, then easily we can have all those meetings and all, and we can begin with the actual development, actual testing. Here, guys, any confusion? So this is like acceptance criteria. So don't worry, in real time for each and every user story, you will be getting this acceptance criteria. And according to this criteria only, as a developer, you will implement a feature, and as a test engineers, you will be testing the implemented feature. Okay. Clear to all?
So I have one doubt.
Hmm.
So customer will have business requirement, that is SRS or BRD. On the basis of that, they will write the acceptance criteria in Jira.
Yes. Correct.
So on the basis of acceptance criteria, we will do testing. Is
Correct.
it?
That's correct.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Any other doubt? Anyone? Acceptance criteria to develop this feature. Okay, simple. Anyone having any confusion here, guys?
No, sir.
Okay, so that is what our acceptance criteria. Okay, so let's move on. Now, next point we are having what? Buffer period. Okay, so buffer period is nothing but what? It's like taking extra time to complete the task. That is a buffer period. Okay, taking extra time to complete the task. Okay, let's say that as a developer, I'm saying that, okay, I will take a 3 point. It means what? How many hours?
1 day.
8 hours.
8 hours.
8 hours. Okay, means I'm committing that. Okay, I will be completing a task in 8 hours of time. Okay, now let's say that as a developer, I'm feeling that I think it's not possible to develop in 8 hours. Getting it? I have already committed like 8 hours. I will take it to develop this particular feature. But now I'm feeling that, okay, it will take a lot of time. Okay, or it will take another 4 to 5 hours to complete my task. Okay, so in that case, definitely you need to inform to your leads or manager. Correct, guys? We have to. Correct, because
Yes.
you will be expecting it like, okay, like you are going to complete in 8 hours. That is their expectation. But if you will not inform that, like, okay, you want some extra time to complete the task, okay, then they will be asking the question why you have not informed and all. Okay, so whenever you will feel that like you are not able to complete the task on the given time, so in that time, okay, or in that case, you can request for the extra time. Okay, you can request to your leads or manager like, okay, I will be taking 3 to 4 hours extra time to complete the task. So that actually we are calling it a buffer period. Okay, getting my point, guys?
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
That
sir.
is the buffer period. Okay, cool. Next, hot fix. Okay, so let's say that, okay, we have already released the application. Okay, let's say that www dot, let's say that Facebook, Amazon.com. Okay, let's say that this is our application. Okay, assume that whatever features we have developed, every feature is now available into our website. Okay, let's say that this is our real-time application, Amazon.com. Okay, here all the features are already available. Like we have already released all the feature into the Amazon.com. Okay, now while using this Amazon.com, our customers, okay, or our end user, they are facing some problem. Let's say that they are not able to do some payment, or they are not able to add some product, okay, or they are not able to search some of the product information. Okay, let's say that they are facing one issue, that is like, okay, let's say that the one issue we have got like, okay, unable to search mobile related products. Okay, let's say that this defect or these issues we are having into this Amazon application. Getting my point, guys? Okay, means users are able to search all kind of product information, okay, but only they are not able to search this mobile related information into this Amazon.com. Okay, so definitely this is the issue. Yes or no? This is a problem. This is the
Yes, sir.
defect we are
Yes,
having
sir.
in the application. Okay, so do we need to fix this issue or not? Is it required? Is it required to resolve this issue?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir.
We have to, right? Okay, because our customers are facing a problem. They are using the application, okay, and they are facing this problem. They are not able to search a product. Okay, so immediately this issue is going to report to our IT team, like our development or testing team. Okay, means this issue is going to report to our development team. Okay, so here as a development team, what we can do, like, okay, we will try to check it why this issue is coming. Okay, what kind of problem we are having in the program, because of that this issue is coming. Okay, so here we will analyze this problem into our what coding and all. Okay, and here as a developer, they will be try to resolve this problem, because we have to resolve this issue because of some programming issue, that the issue is there into the application. Correct. So definitely our developers, they will be resolving the issue. Okay, so once our developers will resolve it, then again we have to release that particular fixes into our Amazon.com. Yes or no? Is it required? We have to write, because coding changes is required. Means we have done some coding changes, and that changes we want to deploy into the Amazon.com. Correct, guys? I think in real time you guys are getting updates, right? Like update your mobile applications and all. Why we are getting it? Can someone tell me?
They'll
Is
fix
there
the
any
issues.
bug? Then they have resolved the bug.
Okay,
Getting the new
And
features, new
Add new
updates.
features.
we are getting some new features. We are getting some what they are like companies are fixing some of the issues. So for that they are releasing new version. Correct? Yes or no? In real time we are
Yes, sir.
already organized. So in similar way, okay, as soon as we will resolve this issue, okay, then we are going to release this particular feature. Okay, so as a developer, okay, we will try to fix this issue. Why? Because this issue is already available into this our Amazon.com. It's impacting the real-time customer. Okay, So here as a developer, we are going to resolve this issue. We are going to fix this issue. So that issue actually we are calling is what? Hotfix. Getting my point? So whenever we will get some real-time problem, okay, real-time issues from the application, okay, and that issue whenever we are going to resolve it, okay, why? Because we want to release that also. So that resolving process actually we are calling is what? Hotfix. Getting my point, guys? We are having a real-time issue. Real-time issue is what? That issue is available into the real-time application, and that issue we want to resolve it. Okay, so that resolving process actually we are calling is what? Hotfix. Are you guys understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Sir.
Whenever we will get a issue on the real-time application, okay, and that time if we are going to resolve that issue, so that issues, okay, is we are calling is what? That process actually we can call it hotfix. That fixing process we can call it as a hotfix. Okay, so now we have fixed this issue. Now after fixing it, definitely we have to what? Release that particular fixes into the our real-time application. Yes or no? We have to, right? We will fix it. After fixing it, we will release it, so it will be available into our amazon.com. Means after releasing it, user will not face a problem, like they will be able to search a product into the amazon.com. So we will fix it, and we want to release that particular fix into the amazon.com. So actually that release actually we are calling is what? Patch release. That release process actually we are calling is what? Patch release. Getting it, guys? We will do the hot fix, like we will solve the issue. We will solve the issue. Okay, after solving it, we are going to deploy the fixes into this amazon.com. Okay, or we are going to release that particular feature into the amazon.com. So that release process actually we are calling as a patch release. It's like partial release of the application. Partial release means what? We are just releasing this hot fixes. Hot fix means what? Whatever issues we have got into the real-time environment in real-time application. So that issues, if we are fixing it, that we are calling is a hot fix. And this fixes we want to deploy or we want to release into this amazon.com. So that release actually we are calling is a patch release. Are you guys understanding? Don't worry, there is another session for discussing about this hot fix and patch release and all. But as of now, just try to understand. Okay, at least
Sir,
yeah.
sir, in hotfix, is there the application already developed or released? After
Yes.
that, we fixed it or before releasing?
After release, let's say that we have already released it, okay, and here customers are using it. Okay,
Okay.
now
Got it.
customers are using the application, and during that time they are facing this issue, they are not able to search some information. Okay, so that issue we
Yes,
want
sir.
to resolve it. So that resolving process we can call it a hot fix. Okay,
Okay, sir.
now after fixing it, these issues we are going to release into the amazon.com. So that release actually we are calling as a patch release. Is it clear to all?
Yes, sir.
Sir, actually, this is one type of error has a consider. No, sir? Error like error.
Yes,
Or
it's
bugs.
a error. So we will discuss about it. Don't worry about the bug or whatever terminology we are using. So that we will discuss during testing classes. Okay. So you will get to know the what is the meaning of the error, bug, or whatever
Sure,
terminology.
sir.
Okay. As of now, try to understand the concept only. Okay. Don't worry if you are not able to relate with some other things. Just understand what is the meaning of hotfix and what is the meaning of patch release. Okay, so we are having separate session for this. Don't worry, like again, hotfix, patch release. We are having a more session. Okay, we will discuss in detail in coming classes. When we will discuss about some of the testing stuff, that time you will get to know. Okay, clear, guys? Partial release of the application, that is a patch release. Okay, full release is nothing but what? Whenever let's say that we are having 100 of user story. Okay, let's say that 100 features user story we are having it. Okay, assume that all the 100 user stories are completed, means all we have, let's say that we have developed all the 100 features. So after developing all these 100 features, definitely we have to release it for our real-time customers so they can use this 100 features. Yes or no? Because for them only we are developing, right? So once we will develop this 100 user story, 100 requirement, then we can release this 100 features for our customer. So that time we will follow the full release. Okay, but after having the full release, if you are getting any of the problem into the application, and that problem, if you are resolving it, so that time we will follow the patch release. Getting it, guys? Yes or no?
Sir, please repeat that full release.
Full release means what? Releasing the feature. Okay, releasing the all the developed feature.
Okay.
Once we will develop, then we have to release, right? What we will do with this completed feature? We have to release it. We have to release for our customers. Okay. So don't worry, this release and all. Okay, we are having more session coming this days. Okay, so don't worry if you're not understanding, just leave it for now, because for explaining this all the things, you guys need to learn something else. Okay, related to our testing and all. So during that time, you will get to know in details. Okay. Clear, everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So this impact analysis is part of your testing activity. So when we will have the testing session, so that time you will get to know. Agile board is part of your Jira session. Okay, when we will have the practical session, so that time I will explain. This defect triage meeting is again, it's part of your testing classes. So when we will have the testing session, so that time we will discuss about it. Okay, because if I'll explain right now, you will not understand anything. Okay, so don't worry, I will only remind you guys. Okay. So consider this all are pending. Okay. And Scrum Master is who is the Scrum Master? Can someone tell? I think yesterday we discussed. The Scrum Master is the person who will be initiating the meeting.
In the Scrum meeting. Yes.
He will initiate a meeting.
Scrum Master is otherwise called as PM.
It's like a Scrum Master is also like, it's like a kind of what? Project management.
Project manager.
Yes. It's not a project manager, but project management guy. Okay. It will be from project management team. Okay. Who will be tracking what? Project status. He will track a project status. Okay. He will be tracking what each and employee status. Okay. And also track the sprint status. Okay, miss, in each sprint, how exactly we are doing, okay, what are things we are completing, okay, is anything is getting pending. So each and everything we can easily track as a part of project as a Scrum Master. Okay, it's like he will be from the project management team and he will maintain all this stuff. Getting my point, guys? He will track this all this status, okay, during our development time, actual development time. It is act like it's a project manager. In other companies, we are calling it a project manager because they can't hire the Scrum Master alone for the managing a project. So in startup and mid-level, we are having a project manager, okay, who will be acting like a Scrum Master. But in MNCs, we are having a dedicated Scrum Master. Means along with the project managers, we will be having the Scrum Master also in MNCs. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any confusion?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir, actually, I have one doubt regarding about IT industry. Actually, I'm non-IT background. Okay. So in IT background, IT companies, how many types of domains are there, sir? I don't know about that.
We will discuss. We will discuss. Okay. So again, that will be part of your testing. I think during this, let me. Okay. So don't worry. Okay. As an part of testing session, you will get to know. Okay. Yes,
Okay,
we are
sir,
having we are top concepts. So there you will get to know about the domains. Okay. Just a minute, guys. Okay. So don't worry. Okay, we are having a separate topics for discussing about the domains and all. Okay. Okay, Vittal.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. So any question, guys? Any doubt? Anyone?
Okay. So what is Agile board? It is separate topic.
We will discuss. That is a part of your practical session. We will discuss.
Sir, once a time repeat patch release, sir.
Which one?
Patch release.
Patch release is a kind of partial release. Okay, let me give simple example. Okay. let me relate with something else. Okay, let's relate with something else. Let's say that you know, mm, let's say that we are in school. Okay, let's say that we are in what? Some, let's say that ninth class. Okay. Now in the ninth class, let's say that some of the subjects we are having. Okay, let's say that some seven subject. I'm just giving a random example. Okay. In ninth class, we are having seven subjects. Okay. Getting my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now assume that okay, these seven subjects when we are going to clear after 1 year only. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
After a year, okay, we will complete this all the seven subjects. Okay, like we need to clear it. Okay. Assume that okay, out of seven subject, some of the what after what completion of the seven subject, okay, we got to know that okay, there is like we got failed in some two subjects. Okay, where we are feeling that okay, there is some correction is required. Okay, in the mark sheet. Okay, instead of let's say that putting a what 90, it's mentioned 10 by mistake. So we will feel that some correction is required. Yes or no? Getting my point?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me say that. Okay, here we will attempt a exam. Again, uh, let's say that after a year, okay, we will attempt for exam. Okay, so here we need to clear this seven, like we will clear this seven subject. Okay, now after attempting this exam, we got to know that okay, in the two subject, some correction is required. Okay, why? Because some issues are there. Some issues means or some what you can say that some number is missing. Okay, that the proper mark is missing. Okay, in this two subject. So for that, here we are having a issue, and here we need to correct it. So once we will correct it, then again we will need to provide a result or not after correcting it. Is it required? Or we
Yes,
need to
sir.
update to the student, okay, hey, by mistakenly we have done this kind of mistakes. Okay, now this is your final result. Okay, so for these two subject, again we will declare a result. This kind of what partial in update we will give it to the our that particular student. Okay, so this complete result we will get it okay after a year. Okay, for the entire students, okay, we will get it okay after attempting exam, we will get a result okay in a single shot for an entire user. Okay, but let's say that some of the student okay they are having some issues where correction is required. So for that we will give the partial update about this particular subject. Okay, so this is like partial update is a patch release. This is like full release. Okay, we are attempting exam and we are clearing or we are getting a result that is like full release. Okay, full result we are getting it here, but here we are getting a partial result. After correcting this, we are getting a partial result. This kind of patch release. Similar here, we will release the 100 feature. Okay, 100 feature into the application. That is a full release. Okay, into Amazon. Now after releasing this 100 feature into this amazon.com, if some of the features are having some problem, let's say that in some features we are having some issues, so those issues we will try to resolve. Yes or no? We will resolve it. Let's say that in two features some problem we are having. Okay, some issues are there, so these two features we are going to resolve it. Correct, guys? So that resolving process is nothing but what hot fix. Okay, now after fixing it we have to release these two issues. Okay, two what this fixes into this amazon.com. Why? Because after releasing it customer will not face any problem. Yes or no? Correct. So that releasing process kind of patch release. Okay, for these two features we will resolve the issues, and for this two feature only we will release it again into this amazon.com. So that is a partial release. Here we are having a full release. So don't worry. Okay, again if you're not understanding, we are having a separate session for all this stuff. Okay.
Sir, when new update
Okay,
comes
sir.
in application, on the time that it is mentioned that patch release, that mentioned on that.
Yes. Let me show you guys something. Just a minute. Play Store. Let me show you guys something. Okay. So let's say that this is a Play Store. Let me go it here. Okay, I will search some application which I remember actually. So where I can, there it is. There is a search option here. Okay, here it is. Okay. So it says this is like available in the Play Store. Okay, and this company they have released some of the feature. Okay, there are some issues they have released. Okay, so for that they have mentioned some list. Okay, like what's new means in this latest version, what is the new thing is there. So what they have mentioned, we have improved the forward password screen process. Okay, ability to reset password using email. Okay, and something along with that they have mentioned what other performance improvement as well as bug fixes. Can you guys see that? Means in this new version they have released this all the things. Okay guys, whether they have some small modification. Okay, and also they have done some bug fixes. Okay, so whenever we will do such kind of small issues, okay, or we are going to resolve small problem, so in that period whatever release we will do, that we are calling as a patch release. Getting it or not? You can visit to the Play Store. Okay, and whatever application you guys have installed, right, just go there and see this what's new will be there. Okay, and there they will mention like in this current latest version what actual changes they have done. Getting my point, guys? Okay, so for releasing this, whatever process they have followed, that is a patch release process. Are you guys understanding it or not?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is all about patch release and others. Okay, any confusion? Still having any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay.
No, sir.
Okay, guys. So we have learned about this agile concepts. Okay, but to implement this agile concepts, we are going to use some tool. What is the tool name? This entire whatever processes we have learned, this entire agile concept. Okay, so that entire process actually we have to replicate with using some tool. That tool is nothing but Jira tool. Okay, guys. And what is the Jira tool? Anyone having any idea? It is nothing but what? It's a
It's a ticketing tool. It's a bug
project
tracking tool.
project management plus defect tracking tool. Remember that. Okay. So with using the Jira tool, we can do the both kind of activities. We can manage our entire project. Also, we can track our the issues, whatever issues we will report, right? Or whatever issues we are going to identify, those things also we can track it with using this Jira tool. It's the most popular tool which is going to use by IT companies. Okay. Almost every companies are using Jira tool nowadays. Okay, everyone. So Jira is a both kind of tool. Remember that project management as well as defect tracking tool. In interview, they may ask you what kind of project management tool you guys are using or what kind of defect tracking tool you are using. So just say simple one answer, that is a Jira tool. Okay, getting my point, guys? And
Yes, sir.
this Jira tool is
Yes,
going to
sir.
use by every software engineer. Okay, everyone is going to use the Jira tool. Client is going to use it, BA, developer, tester, DevOps, okay, project manager, Scrum Master. Everyone is going to use the same tool only. Okay, so as a team, yes, we are going to use this tool, and with using this tool, we are going to manage our project. Also, we are going to manage our defects. Okay, so before starting this Jira explanation, can we have a small break? Is that okay for all?
Okay, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So let's break it for the what? Now it's a 7. So come back by 3:15. Is that okay?
Superb, sir.
Yes, sir.
Let's a small break. So, okay, and come back by 3:15. Okay, everyone. So don't leave the station. Okay, have a water, coffee, whatever you want to have, then come back. Okay, we will continue with the Jira tool. Okay. Hey, hello guys. Are you guys around?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All of you are available?
Yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay, then. So now let's start with our Jira tool. Okay, so let me select some other project. Don't worry, I will be helping you guys to have your own account and also don't worry about it. Okay. Okay. So let's say that, okay, I will start from the scratch, okay, from the beginning, okay. So let's say that, okay, we want to develop some of the e-commerce platform, okay, e-commerce application. So first, who will come up with the requirement? Who will create a requirement? Can someone tell me?
Yeah.
BA,
B.
right? Business
And
analyst, okay, or the client, okay.
client.
Okay, so they can create a user story. So as of now, nothing is here. So let me create some of the user story. Okay. So this, let's say that this is e-commerce, our project, it is there. Now I will create some of the user. So let's say that I'm saying, okay, I'm just saying the search feature, that is the first requirement. Okay, I'm not putting any of the acceptance criteria, I'm just creating it. Okay. And then next is void. Okay, add to cart. Okay, so that is second story. So like that, I will be creating some of the user stories to explain you guys. Let's say that's next is a customer information page. I will create a few more. Payment gateways. Okay, let's say that I will add one more sign up feature with email or mobile number. I will add one more login feature. Okay. Clear, guys? So how many user stories we are having it to develop this
Order
e-commerce?
confirmation 2 times.
Sorry. How many stories are there, guys? Total?
9.
8.
You repeated order confirmation 2 times.
I don't.
8, sir, 8.
8, right? Okay. So these 8 user stories are keeping into the backlog. Can you guys see that? Yes. As a BA client, what we have done, we have created a what requirement? We have created a user story and it's keeping under the backlog. So can I say like this is a product backlog also? Are you guys agree with me?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because we want to develop a product, but to develop a product, these many backlogs are there. These many user stories what we are having. So this also we can call it as a product backlog. Clear? So now these all stories are there into the backlog. Now our team management is saying that like we have to start with what our implementation, like we have to develop all this functionality. So can you guys tell me like what kind of meeting we have to initiate first?
Backlog grooming.
Others, what you guys are?
Backlog grooming meeting.
Do you guys agree with Sneha and all? Backlog grooming meeting is
Yes, sir.
required.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Initially, backlog grooming meeting is
Yes,
conducted.
backlog.
After that,
Yes. Okay. So now we will conduct a backlog grooming meeting. And why we have to conduct? Because we want to prioritize that out of these 8 user stories, which user story we want to develop first. Correct? So that we have to prioritize it. Correct, guys? Okay. During this backlog grooming meeting time, whatever managers, okay, or the client, okay, or the scrum master, what they can do, like they can just create a sprint. There is a create a sprint button. Can you guys see that? Okay. So as a management guy, okay, manager, client, okay, or the scrum master, we can just create a sprint. I'm just creating it. Okay. Now this is, let's say that this is a sprint 3. Why? Because earlier I had created 2 sprints, so it's coming as a sprint 3. Okay. So assume that this is a sprint 1 only. Okay. So now here, can you guys read this? Can you guys just try to understand what is mentioned here? It's saying that plan your sprint, and what exactly it's saying there? Just try to read.
As a team, agree on what work needs to be completed and drag these issues to the sprint.
It's about sprint planning meeting.
It's not a sprint.
Along with the issues, we have to create the one sprint now. So that sprint to whatever we're conducting, it will discuss in sprint going meeting.
Yes. Okay. So it's saying that, okay, in this sprint 3, okay, whatever user story you want to develop, okay, so those user story you can drag it from the backlog to this sprint. Okay, it's saying that drag this issue to the sprint means drag the issue means what, from the backlog, whatever stories you want to develop. Okay, in this sprint 3, so those user story move it from the backlog to this sprint 3. Okay, so during this backlog grooming meeting time, what we are going to do? We are going to prioritize the task, like out of 8, which stories we want to develop first, that we are going to prioritize it. Correct? So during this backlog grooming meeting time, will be helping us, like, okay, which story we want to develop. So let's say that first we want to develop this sign up feature. So we can move the story from the backlog to this sprint. Okay. So one story is added here. Similar way, let's say that again, we also want to develop this login feature. Okay. Also, we want to develop this search feature. Getting my point, guys? Okay. So in this sprint 3, okay, let's say that, okay, we are having this.
Hello.
Yeah, someone is saying
It's
something.
not audible, sir.
So voice is struck for the.
Is it for all?
Yes, sir.
No, it's okay, sir. Now it's okay.
Oh, okay, okay. I think you guys can see one message like your internet connection is unstable. Okay, I think it will get resolved quickly. Okay, so what I'm saying, like, okay, once we will have this backlog grooming meeting, then we will get to know like which requirement we want to develop first. So those user story we can move from the backlog to this particular sprint. So this kind of activities basically we will do during this backlog grooming meeting time. Clear now, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir. In sprint 3, login feature or some EC9 means what is, sir? Why EC9 means?
It's a ID. Okay, it's like a story ID. Okay, it's like requirement ID. EC9 is a requirement ID, EC8 is requirement ID, EC2 is requirement ID. Okay, automatically this ID will get created as soon as we will create some of the issues, right? So automatically you will get these numbers. Okay.
Okay, sir.
So clear with this backlog grooming meeting, guys? What we have done?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So after having this, hello, can you guys hear my voice? I think got disconnected. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yes. Okay. So clear with this backlog grooming meeting, everyone? Okay.
Yes.
So now after having the backlog grooming meeting, what kind of meeting we have to conduct next? Guys, just go on mute if
planning
you are
meeting.
not speaking.
Sprint planning.
So next is like sprint planning meeting. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So what is the agenda of the sprint planning meeting? Can someone tell me?
Assign the task to the
Sir, how much time it will take on assigning the task to developer?
Yes. Okay. So now we are know that okay, in this sprint 3 we are going to develop this 3 feature. Okay. So now next, after having the backlog grooming meeting, what we can do, we can initiate the sprint planning meeting. Means in this sprint 3, how exactly we want to develop this 3 functionality. So for that, the first activity we will do, like we are going to assign a task to the developer. So now here as a manager, scrum master, okay, I can check with the development team, like okay, let's say that this login feature is there, so I can check with the development, like who want to develop this login feature. So from the development team, some developers will say that, or we will get some of the developer name, like okay, this developer is going to implement this login feature. Okay, so now we are going to assign this login feature to one developer. So here, can you guys see some field like assign a field somewhere?
Yes, sir.
Assign a field.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So as of now, it's a unassigned, means we have not assigned to anyone. So now it's time to assign this feature to developer. Okay. So here, this is my personal account. So here we don't have any name. Okay. So just consider that this is a developer name. Okay. Assume that this is nothing but it's a developer. Okay. So I'm just assigning this this developer, like this user story is going to develop by this developer. Now after assigning it, can you guys see that that name is reflecting it here? Can you guys see?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, means this login feature is going to develop by this developer. Okay. Now, what is the second agenda of this meeting? What is the second agenda of this sprint planning meeting?
Get story point
Story
from the
point from
developers.
developer.
We have to get a story point. So now this developer, he need to tell it like how much time he will take to develop this login functionality. So he will be providing the story point. Okay. So now can you guys see somewhere a story point option
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Below
Yes, sir.
label.
here?
And
Okay, so now developer will say that okay, for developing this login feature, I will take a what 3 point. Okay, so 3 point means what he want to spend 8 hours of time to develop this particular feature. So we can update this 3 point. So I will just it is a 3. Okay, now can you guys see that that 3 point is also reflecting it here?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? Okay,
Yes, sir.
so now if any
Yes,
of
sir.
the people, okay, if any of the our team members, if they will go through this user story, then they can easily understand. They can easily understand means what? Okay, this is the login feature. This login is feature are going to develop by this developer. Okay, and this developer is going to take 8 hours of time to develop this particular login feature. Getting my point, guys? Easily we can understand. Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that
Yes,
is
sir.
that we have done for one story. Similar way we can do for other story also. So let me open the other story sign up feature. So here also we can assign to one developer. Okay, let's say that I'm just assigned to myself, and also we can update the story point. Let's say that here I'm giving a 5 point. We can update it. Okay. Same thing we can do for other stories. So don't worry, it's not reflecting. I have to refresh it. I think some refresh issue is there. Let me assign it and let me update the story point. Okay, so I have just updated the story point. Now let me refresh it because it's not coming it here. I think there is some issue, refresh issue. Okay, now can you guys see that this all the stories we have assigned to one developer, and also we have updated the story point. Similar way for other stories also we have done the same thing. Can you guys see that, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay, so in real time also we are doing the same thing, like we will be conducting with say a similar Zoom meeting or the Teams meeting. Okay, and parallelly the managers, client, okay, the scrum master, they will be doing the same activities. These are like management tasks. Okay, as a developer, as a tester, we will not do anything. Just consider like I'm your manager. Okay, and I'm doing it in similar way. In real time, our management people will be doing the same thing. Clear now? Okay, so that's how we will be conducting the sprint planning meeting, and we will be assigning a task, and also we will be updating the story point. So far now it's clear. Anyone
Yes,
is
sir.
having any doubt?
Okay.
No? Okay.
No, sir. Clear,
So
sir.
now once we will complete this sprint planning meeting, now we can start the sprint. Let's say that today is a Friday and we have done this sprint planning meeting. So this sprint is definitely going to start from the Monday. So let me just start the sprint. I'm just clicking on start a sprint. Okay, so here by default it's showing as a custom. Why? Because for this project I have used the custom option. So assume that by default you guys will be getting it 2 weeks only. Okay, so in this sprint there are 3 issues are involved. 3 stories are there. This is our sprint name. This is the duration we are having is 2 weeks of sprint, and here we need to update the start date. So what I will do, I will just mention that like Monday is our start date. Let's say that 24th of October. Okay, so in that we are going to start our sprint. So I'm just putting the start date. Now with providing all this information, I can start a sprint. And also here you can see that there are 10 working days in this sprint. Why? Because we have selected 2 weeks. Okay. So now I can start a sprint. So once I will start it, then I will be navigating in some different page. So can you guys see my where exactly it's navigated? From the left side, which option is selected? Can you guys just observe?
Active sprint.
Active sprint.
Active sprint, it means what? Active sprint is nothing but what? It's a current sprint. Okay. So what is our current sprint? What is the name of the current sprint?
EC sprint 3.
EC sprint 3.
Okay, so this is our current sprint. Sprint 3 we are having is that is our active sprint, and here we are having some to do tasks like these 3 features we want to develop it in this sprint 3. Clear everyone? Okay.
Yes, sir.
And actually in this active sprint, whatever these options you can see, right? So these options, okay, or this page actually we are calling is what? Agile board. Okay, this active sprint board is nothing but it's a agile board. I'm just hovering it here. Can you guys see that? Something is mentioned, it is a agile board in the top.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is basically agile board. Okay, in this agile board, we will get our active sprint where we will get our what some different columns names are there. Like columns name is nothing but different status we are having. As of now, all the stories are keeping on the to-do state. Every day, what kind of meeting we will do? Every day, what kind of meeting will be there?
Scrum meeting.
Scrum meeting.
Scrum meeting. Okay, so now we can have the Scrum meeting. So where all the employees they can share a status. They can say like in the previous week we have discussed about the sprint and all. Okay, and today onwards we will start working on the actual task or actual assigned tasks. Okay, everyone. So likewise, we will have the Scrum meeting at daily basis that will be there. Okay. So now let's say that, okay, here we are having to do tasks. So now this developer want to start the implementation. Okay, like he need to write a program for this login feature. So what he will do? He will move the story from the to do column to dev in progress. It is what dev in progress is about development in progress. It means what? Developers is implementing this particular functionality. Means he already started the implementation of this particular feature. That is a development in progress. Similar way, other developers they can also move the story from the here to here. Okay, guys, why we have to move? Because if the storage is keeping in a dev in progress column, then easily we can understand that like okay, development is started for this 3 user stories. Getting my point, guys? All of you are understanding this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So now here developer
Sir,
will start the develop.
sir,
Yeah. Yeah.
so please repeat again that.
What?
Actually, the screen is off, sir, for quite some 30 seconds. Like.
Is it off? Are you guys able to see my screen?
Now it is visible, sir.
Okay,
Sometimes it stuck for the internet issue, maybe.
I hope so. Okay. Yeah. No, it's not a stuck actually. I'm not doing anything. So that's why you guys are feeling like it's a stuck. Okay, I'm not doing anything. I have just moved the story from the to dev in progress. It means
Actually,
what? All of you are getting it, guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
sir.
Yes.
Sir,
So
sir,
when developers,
sir, sir, please tell the previous steps.
what?
Sir, previous step to do.
Means
It comes to the
developer, see developer, they need to start the implementation. Okay. So they will move the story from the to do column to dev in progress column. Means dev in progress status. Means development in progress. They are developing it. They are writing a program for this. So that's the reason they will move from the here to here. Okay. Because we have to track the status, right? Like whether it's in development stage or it's completed, we have to track it. Okay. So that's the reason developers will move the story from the here to here. Okay. So now once the developers will implement this feature, let's say that login feature is implemented. Okay. So now after implementing it, after writing all the program, our developers, they will move the story from here to here. Okay. Now code review is nothing but what we are going to check it. Like code review is nothing but what some senior people, they are going to check the code, whether that code is correct or not. Okay, like whatever logic we have written for this login feature, so that code is correct or not. So this is the what for tracking perspective, the status, that storage status will be in code review, but actually that senior guy or team lead from the development team, they will be reviewing the code. Okay, they have to review the code whether it's a correct or not. Okay, if leads are saying that okay, that login feature is correctly implemented, all the logic is properly mentioned, everything is correctly displayed into the program, then we can give this particular feature to the QA team. So in that time, our leads, okay, or the developers, they will move the story from the here to here. Why? Because now it's time to start performing the testing activities. So QA is all about the testers. Okay, so once we will get this feature or this story into this QA status, then we have to begin our actual testing. Getting my point, guys?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So QA is all about we have to perform a testing. Similar way we can do for the other stories also. We will be doing the code review, then we will be doing the actual testing. Okay, same thing for other story. Okay, so now here as a QA, how we will test it? This is our requirement. What we can do? We can open the application. Let's say that Amazon.com, whatever application, we will open it and we will check it. We will test it like whether login is implemented or not. So assume that this login is implemented correctly, like everything is working fine. Now, as a QA, as a test engineers, you can move the story from here to here because everything is correctly implemented. So you will move into the UAT column. UAT is nothing but what user acceptance testing. Okay. So don't worry, there is separate classes again for discussing about all this column. Okay. So don't worry. UAT is all about user acceptance testing. So in this UAT phase, client will be performing some of the testing here, client or BM. Means they can do the quick testing, like they will not do the complete testing, but they will quickly check it whether this feature is actually implemented or not.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
So
Voice
you're
is
not
not
audible.
audible also.
It's phrased.
Hello.
It's all phases, sir.
Sorry.
Up to now, the total.
Voice not audible, sir.
Sorry.
For a few minutes, your voice gets stuck.
Okay, so what I'm saying, like once the QA team will complete the testing, then they can move into the UAT. As a UAT, client will be testing it. If everything is looks good, then they can move to the done status. Done means what? That feature implementation is completed. Okay.
Sir, if it is failed in QA means
it's going to cross check by the client or the BA during this UAT time.
At QA it is failed means.
So don't worry, we are having separate session altogether to discuss about this agile board. As of now, as a part of the process, I'm just explaining it. But we are having a
okay.
Okay, sorry guys, I got disconnected somehow. Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got stuck. There is some network issue from my end. Don't worry. Okay. So what I'm saying, like, okay, we are having a separate session for this agile board. Okay, so don't worry if you're not understanding. As of now, I'm just as a part of process, I'm just showcasing the one workflow, one end-to-end workflow. But there is a separate session for this agile board altogether. Okay, where we are having some logics to understand about this to do, dev in progress, code review, QA, and all. Why this kind of a status we are having? So for that, we are having a separate session. Okay, there is a logic behind this particular agile board. So we will have the separate session. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. So as of now, just try to understand to dev in progress. Development is started. Okay, development is starting the work. Then they will once they will complete it, then their code is going to review by the team leads. Okay, once the team leads will review the code and everything is looks good, then they can give it to the QA team. So as a QA team, we can perform a testing. If QA team is saying that everything is looks good, then they can move into the UAT. So where as a user acceptance testing, client can perform some of the testing. Okay, then finally we can move into the done status. Done means what? Story implementation has been completed. Means we have developed this all the three functionality. Getting my point? So at the sprint last date, all the stories should be in done status. That is our expectation. Clear, guys?
Yes, sir.
Sir, who will transfer these stories from UAT to done status? Means client side.
Client or BA. They
Okay,
will
sir.
just move it, okay, into the done.
Okay, sir.
Clear, everyone?
So will developers and testers be a part of sprint planning meeting?
Yes, yes. We will be part of every meeting.
Okay.
Developers, tester will be there in each and every meetings.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So as a part of agile methodology, right? Whatever meeting we are having, right? In every meeting we will be there. Tester, developers. Okay.
Sir, hello.
Hmm.
Sir, testers and developers are allowed for in Scrum meeting only, no? Sir, MOM meetings are said that they are conduct between clients and higher authority of the project management, no, sir?
No, we will be the part of every meeting. Even backlog meeting, in the backlog grooming meeting, we will be there. Sprint planning meeting, we will be there. Whatever meeting is there, right? In this agile, in every meeting, we will be there.
Okay, sir.
Okay. But for each and every meeting, we are having some different agendas. I think we have already discussed about it, correct?
Yeah, yeah, sir. Yeah, sir.
Agenda of the
They
each.
will come through.
Yes. Clear, guys?
Clear, sir.
Okay.
Clear, sir. Yes.
So now let's say that, okay, today is a sprint last date. Okay. Let's say that today is a Friday and today is a sprint last date. Okay. So now we have to close the sprint. Yes or no? Because today is the sprint last date. So we need to complete this sprint. So here as a management, again, as a Scrum Master client, we can use this option. Can you see this option? Complete sprint.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
We'll be completing the sprint. So I will complete this sprint. Complete. Okay. So now our sprint is completed. So after completion of the every sprint, what kind of meeting we will conduct? After every sprint, what kind of meeting will be there? No.
It's a review meeting, sir.
Sprint review will be there on the sprint last date. Okay, but after completion of every sprint.
Retrospective meeting.
Correct, guys? Retrospective meeting. Okay. Consider that sprint review meeting we have done it and we have closed the sprint. Okay. Now after completion of this sprint, okay, we can have the a retrospective meeting. So we can discuss about this sprint 3, like in this sprint 3, what kind of mistakes we have done, whether we have completed all the tasks in the given time or not. So these all things we can discuss in the retrospective meeting. Now what went good, what went wrong. Okay. So assume that we are having some problem. Okay, like we have done some mistakes. So for that, we will conduct the RCA meeting, root cause analysis meeting. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Correct. So now after a root cause analysis meeting, again, what we will do?
Backlog grooming.
We will start with the backlog grooming meeting. Now, can you guys see that how many stories are pending now in the backlog?
Five.
Earlier it was 8, right?
5.
Earlier we had 8 stories like sign up, sign in, and search features. So those are completed. Now these 5 are pending. So again we will do what? Backlog grooming meeting. So what I can do again? Again we can create one sprint we can do the backlog grooming meeting where we can again prioritize the task, like we can move the story from here to here. Okay, like for the next sprint, like we are going to prioritize the task, right? Yes or no? Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So now,
Yes, sir.
so we have done the backlog grooming meeting. Then again, we will do the sprint planning meeting. So in that meeting, again, we will assign the task to the developer. Again, I will assign it. Okay. Again, we will update the story point. Okay.
What is the storage point, sir?
What is story point? Who asked this actually? Sanjay, I think
Time
you missed.
taken to develop.
I think I don't know who asked. I think you missed the previous day session, like previous to previous day session. I think yes. Okay. So if you guys have missed my previous session, like last 2 day session, then I can recommend you guys like go with the recording at least once. Okay, then only you will understand. Okay. So clear everyone, what I'm doing it here. Others?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Assigning the task.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So again, we have done this what a sprint planning meeting. We will update the what we will assign the task. We will assign update the story point. Okay. Now after doing it, again we can start a sprint. Okay. So again, this sprint will be there for the 2 weeks. Okay. And here,
Sir, one question. That story point which will mention by the QA team or dev team?
initially development team. Okay. As a QA team, how exactly we will update the story point, we will discuss when we will start the testing session. Okay. But initially during the sprint planning meeting time, ideally developers will update the story point. Okay. But later point, we can, as a QA team, we also need to update the story point. So these things we will get to know when we will discuss about the testing stuff. Okay.
Sir, how will get know that how many days it will take? It is a approx time will mention.
I didn't get you. How many days it will take, means?
Suppose one story point is there. How many days it will take? That will be mentioned. Approx time will duration will mention or what?
Can you repeat your question? Sorry.
Sir, I am asking that at the duration we are mentioning currently, that approx duration it is mentioning or what's the minimum duration is 2 weeks, that I know. That to mention or more we can mention?
No, 2 weeks. By default, it will be 2 weeks. See, that's what this is going to decide by the management. Okay, whether they need to follow 2 weeks or 1 week or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, so the default which maximum companies are following is 2 weeks. Okay, so within this 2 weeks of period, we have to develop everything. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So what we have done, guys, we have selected again 3 user stories. Okay, we have what we have assigned the task, we have updated the story point. Now again we will start a sprint. Okay, so now what is the sprint name? It's, I think it's loading. What is the sprint name now?
Sprint 4.
The sprint 4. Now you can see that current active sprint is what? Sprint 4. Okay, in the sprint 3 we develop 3 features. Now in the sprint 4 again we will develop this 3 feature. Okay, so here again developers will move the story from here to here, here to here, like all the developers. After implementing all this story, they will move for the code review. So some senior developer, they can review the code. Okay, now if everything looks good, then they can give it to the QA team. So QA team can perform a testing activities. Okay, once the QA team will test all these functionalities, okay, then they can move into the UAT. Okay, so now here client BA, they will again check it, like whether it's a working or it's implemented according to their expectation or not. After that, they can move into the done status. Okay, so now again we will have the sprint last date. So in the sprint last date, we will do the sprint review meeting and we will check it whether all the stories is completed or not. Okay, so similar way we will have the sprint review meeting and we will complete the sprint. Okay, now we will complete a sprint, and after completion of the sprint, what kind of meeting? After every sprint completion, what kind of meeting?
This is
Sprint review meeting.
Retrospective.
Retrospective meeting, right? So again, we will conduct the retrospective meeting and we will check it, the problem challenges we faced in the sprint 4. Okay. So now after that, if you are having problem, we can have the RC meeting. Okay. Now again, we will go back to the next backlog. Okay. Now we will see that how many stories are pending now.
2.
2 stories.
These 2 also we need to implement, correct? So for that, first what we will do again, we will do the backlog room meeting. So actually here, it's as per this example, backlog is required, yes, because we have to select one of those 2. Okay, but in real case, okay, like we can skip the backlog room, but just consider like backlog is mandatory. Okay, so again we will do the backlog room meeting. We will move the story from here to here. Okay. Sorry, we need to create a sprint first. I'm creating a sprint now. What is the sprint name? Sprint 5. We'll move the story from here to here. Again, we will do the sprint planning meeting. We will assign a task. Okay. We will assign the task to the developer. We will update the story point. Correct, guys? Same thing. Okay. Now let's see that I'm not assigning the story point. Okay. I'm just giving this. Okay. Let's say that I have not updated any story point and I'm just starting a sprint. Okay. Now observe the message. Can you guys see that? What is the message showing it here? Can you guys just read it and try to understand what is saying that?
Yes, sir.
Can you guys see this word estimated? Means I have not updated any story point, saying that for this 2 user story, okay, we do not have the value, okay, as a estimate and estimated. Means what? We have not provided any of the story point. Okay. Values entered after the start of the sprint will be treated as a scope change. Okay, it means what? Let's say that we have started a sprint, okay, and somehow we forgot to update the story point. Okay. Now later upon, if you are updating a story point for some of the story, so it will be treated as like a scope change. Why? Because again we have to estimate it, we have to give some of the story point. Okay, so that is the reason during this sprint planning meeting we have to update the story point. That is a mandatory. Okay, everyone. Getting it?
Yes, sir.
So during the sprint planning meeting time only we have to update the story point.
Sir, after that we can change the story point, na?
No, we can change it. Okay, but actually we are not going to change. We can ask for the buffer period.
Okay, sir.
Okay. A story point will be same, but after that we can request for some extra time.
Okay, yes, sir.
Clear, guys? Any confusion? So all of you are understanding this concept end to end as of now?
Yes, sir.
Easy,
Yes,
right?
sir.
It's easy or not? It is just a process, right? That you guys need to follow. That's it. Correct, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So easy. It's really
Yes,
easy.
sir.
Okay. So that is all about what, guys, our what Jira. Okay, don't worry. Again, there is a separate discussion about this active sprint or this agile board. We can say that, okay, because there is some logic. Okay, logic behind this, all the different status. So that we will discuss into the next class. Okay, but as of now, I can help you guys to create your own Jira account. So all are using the laptop as of now? All of you are using laptop?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes,
No,
yes.
sir.
Okay, so guys who's using laptop, they can create an account. If you are using a mobile, then just note it down the steps. Okay, whatever steps I will take, just note it down. So as soon as you will log in with your laptop, then you can create your own Jira account. Okay, so here anyone who want to share the screen? Anyone is here who can share the screen? Who wants to share? Guys?